problems we're going to do are at the bottom of 199. So since there's no h and k, we have to find our asymptotes a little bit different way. The vertical asymptote you find by setting the denominator equal to 0, which is kind of what we did yesterday. We said it was always the opposite. So the vertical, we set the denominator equal to 0. The horizontal, this is new. You put the coefficients over each other. That's your asymptote right there, actually. So that's really different than yesterday. The rest of this is pretty much the same. You find dots on either side. You find domain and range. But the top right, bottom left rule does not work on type 2. So we're going to look at 5 and 6 on 199. Okay. So set the denominator equal to 0. And you just solve a little equation. So that's kind of what we did yesterday. It often goes to its opposite sign. Now, if there's a number in front, it'll be a little bit different, so I'll show you that one too. But often that's the same as yesterday. Look at where my axes are here. And I'm going to go vertical line at 5. So there's my asymptote. Setting the denominator equal to 0, often it's just the same number opposite sign. The horizontal asymptote is the new part today. So the horizontal asymptote is whatever the coefficients of these two x's are over each other. So in this case, 1 over 1. Everything else is the same. We still find 2 dots on either side of this 5, so I'm going to find a 4 and a 6. When I put 4 into the original problem, I have 6 over negative 1. When I put 6 in there, I've got 8 over 1. They should always still be in opposite sections from each other. We just don't have the little check of the top right, bottom left. That doesn't work on this type. But I have them in opposite sections, so I'm just going to go ahead towards the green, towards the blue. And remember how steep you are here, we're not specific on. Yeah.
Okay, so besides the number, the coefficient, and in front of that, what's the difference between what we did yesterday?
So the difference of yesterday would be this one, yeah, like you mentioned, and the only difference on these would be if there's a number in front right there. So I'll show that next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good question. A lot of it is super similar. Yep. Let's go ahead and finish up domain and range. Good question. Yeah, they're very similar. So domain is, remember, everything but your x, and range is everything but your y. From the asymptotes, not from your ordered pairs. Okay. So let's look at one where the bottom does have a number in front there. That'll be one little difference. When you set the denominator equal to 0, I can't just use the opposite number of 12. Often it's the opposite sign, just like yesterday. But this one I'm actually going to add the 12 over and solve. So I'm actually getting x equals 4. So that's a little bit different than yesterday in that you can't just change the sign. You actually have to solve the denominator equal to 0. So see where my axes are, and I'm going to do my asymptote over here at 4. And then my horizontal is just the coefficient, so it's actually just 2/3. That's about right here, not quite up to the 1. 2/3 of the way up. And so then on opposite sides of this 4, I'm going to go 3 and 5. This part's all the same as yesterday. You might need a calculator here if you want to plug in that 3. So we've got 6 plus 8 over 9 minus 12. So negative 4 and 2/3. So at over 3, I'm going to go down 4 and a little bit more. You could do the decimal there if you'd rather.
If we're just plugging in 3, how did we get 2/3?
So we plugged the 3 in here and here. So I got 14 over negative 3.
Oh.
And you can go decimal if you want there. Now I'll plug the 5 in. And I've got 10 plus 8 over 15 minus 12. So that one comes out to be a 6. You can do that all on your calculator if you'd rather. So at over 5, I'm going to be at up 6. And again, I don't really have a way to check if I'm in the correct sections. The positive negative thing doesn't work, but I am in opposite sections. So as long as this math is accurate, just go ahead and go towards the green, towards the blue. If you end up not in opposite sections, it's something went wrong. All reals but 4. All reals except 2/3. Questions on type 2? Yeah, this is a chapter where most people actually like the graphing.